have this lodge. We have this beach. We saved some dogs this morning.
Yeah, I actually she literally did. So I think this is kind of what this video is about. It's a little bit of like an energy update and a journey update, because a lot of times when we get on video we have topics, but this is just kind of like an update of
We've been on vacation, right?
Well, vacation. The thing is like I actually am unsubscribing to the idea of weekdays, weekends, and vacation, because our life is a vacation.
Absolutely.
Because fun is serious business.
Right.
We should always be in alignment. But there is something that we're practicing in this trip, which is about boundaries and being like, perhaps because we love what we do, perhaps, something that's understood is something like office hours. So it doesn't feel like work, like, oh, I have office hours, but boundaries, because when she does healing sessions, there's a lot of follow-up. There's a lot of things that come up for people. So it's like, I was recommending to her, say, even for yourself, okay, I have an office hours, like when I get on the computer and do Capricorn uploady marketing things, it's like I love doing it, and there's a time and place to make it comfortable and enjoyable. And
that's true. I have to say that it's so important to take this time off time for yourself, because I was realizing it was a full moon, and I can't be too busy with I can't do messaging. I can't read message. I have to, because we're also on this mission of our receiving the uploads, receiving the upgrades, and that needed a lot of time. By the way, speaking of boundaries, this was also an important journey to learn how to receive without having to give back.
Yes.
With the masculine.
Maybe we should back up about like a little bit of where we are.
Okay.
So we're in Tonga. We know some things about where we are. We needed a break from the mountains to Mermaid.
Wait, why did we get to the mountains?
To Lushoto?
Yeah, we got to Lushoto, to the mountains, because we were called out of Zanzibar because she felt that she needs to go
to the mainland.
And I had a vision that I need to go.
And this is so connected, because we're gonna get to like why we don't know where we are, but we know where we are, because it's an arrow towards this certain lodge that we've been guided towards, because we are co-creating Eden and Noah's Ark. Tanzania is a very, very special land, and we are in times of breakdown for breakthrough. So again, this stuff will be revealed step by step. It's being revealed to us step by step.
It is.
And there's certain laws that we've been guided towards, which was actually something the morning that we met, I knew I was meant to go to these lodges.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps!
Which is confirmation of truth being spoken. And that's the morning we met, a little bit later that day. And since we've been on the mainland, we've gotten guidance that indeed we are supposed to end up at this lodge, but we don't even have the contact that was the original lead for me. And we're being asked by Spirit to trust, because it's so clear we're supposed to be there. And we will explain like how we ended up here in between, but all of a sudden we're in this lodge that's like a safari lodge on the beach, like nobody around, just us recording a video with coffee.
Because there's no internet, so it was like, okay, let's do a video.
Yeah, and like we went to dinner with friends last night, and they left this morning.
The reason we came to the beach, we're mermaids. I see the soul, so we're mermaids, and we needed to come to Mermaid for a while. And yesterday we received sandbank shells, sea turtles, snorkeling, dinner. Received it all because we're in service, so we get service for us, and had such fun. And then our friends also invited us to here, and I had to put some boundaries, reminding that maybe he likes me because it's other lifetimes. It is other lifetime, and he's not my twin flame. And I had to learn to receive, which is always our lesson, another lesson again and again, to receive without needing to give back. I don't need to give anything, just to receive.
Yeah,
that's a hard one.
There's so many messages in what we've been going through, so I just want to like back it up a little bit more. How when we came to the mainland together, because she had also seen these visions of Zanzibar going underwater, and for me it became like an inner knowing about the waters rising, which is just something for me, as my third eye isn't open the way that hers is. My mind and my heart feel through things, and then a certain clarity comes through for me that's like an inner knowing. And then she has been seeing the same things. so we've been.
Yeah, and when I met her, she told me about it, and people have already told me, you need to leave Zanzibar, it's getting small on you. And I said, okay, I'll check with my heart, as I always do, and I got a yes. And 2 days before we left, I did have this vision, and now I'm going to tell the vision, since we're already here, that Zanzibar went underwater, and other people were like taken by the light, like this light was coming. And also over Dar, and Jesus was telling people who can go into the Garden of Eden and who can't, according to the purification of their hearts. And
Which
then
we all have the choice to do.
yes, which is part of the session, part of your working with your inner child, and part of taking responsibility.
Which is why our topics are all about inner child, the heart, and twin flames.
Yeah, I want to finish this vision because it's important, I feel. And I saw the blue lotus. Now, when I met Mary, she told me about the blue lotus. I didn't know about it, but anchoring divine feminine energies, there was always a big lotus that came out. And Mary connected me to the blue lotus, and then I could see this huge blue lotus coming out of the Nile, and the Nile was flooding the whole of Egypt. At the end of the session, there was Kilimanjaro, which totally makes sense to what you said, that we're going to Kilimanjaro. And her boyfriend, her ex,
my star flame, my twin flame.
Her star flame was not a twin flame, but he gave me a painting. We did an exchange, and there were 3 elephants. There was a father elephant, mother elephant, and baby elephant going to Kilimanjaro, and that's how it felt like.
Yes.
That we are going to anchor light there.
And he did finally make it to Arusha.
He did.
So he is an elephant on mission. And that's definitely been such an interesting journey for my heart to digest, but we've really been working through it now. And
it's about karmic relationships turning into mission, and then to remember there is more. There's always more. Not to get stuck if it's not working out. If it becomes uncomfortable, then there's a reason for that. There might be an ending for this karmic relationship.
And by opening up further to the mission and seeing where karma had run its course in that way, as we were in a very committed romantic relationship trying to get married, and there was a blockage there. It was like I really had to choose life or death. And I was just telling her, again, we're still talking about our journey and how we got here, but while we're sitting here at this lodge, we realized, because we don't know how we're supposed to end up at this lodge that we've been guided to end up in, and we keep getting guidance like, don't worry, Jesus is like, I can make a way, this is easy for me. And it's just like, wow.
And we're going through the, like, looking, especially Mary, because I'm a little bit more used to, like, the way will be shown, and, and everything will, I just know, and this is what I get all the time, whatever my mind can perceive is going to be greater.
Right.
That's been the lesson. We could perceive, okay, let's go. I was like, we have to go to Shongo to be on the beach, like mermaid for a while, and before we go to Kilimanjaro. We didn't know we're going to have so many gifts here waiting for us.
Yes. And so while I'm sitting here, you know, I was reflecting to her, like, so when we got to Lesotho, so we're timeline hopping all the time in this conversation, and each point is really interesting. But I'm gonna go back to when we arrived in Lesotho. But I just want to mention, I just want to mention that while we're here this morning, it reminded me of that feeling I felt when we first got to Lesotho, which is, wow, you know, when I was like, when my star flame and I's relationship was ending as a romantic one, I really had to choose life or death. I had to choose self-love in a way that was more, it's better for everybody that way. There's more love to be revealed for everybody when you choose that. And when we got to Lesotho, after that, I felt like, wow, how is this like my life all of a sudden when I was in such a depleted state at the end of our karma in Zanzibar? Because Zanzibar was amazing. It was just like when the time was ending, it was ending.
Yes.
And so then, you know, I still had to choose life. So when we got to Lesotho and I started to feel that life being chosen, I'm like, wow. And now as more things are being revealed in the mission, it's like, wow, this is really our life, you know? And
our life is amazing. But it's, and I feel it's because we are in service, because we're surrendering, which is what I find out for everybody who chooses finally to do their mission. Their life becomes so amazing because the divine will take care in the most unexpected ways.
Every time I've been tested about the next step, it's been scary every time.
Yeah.
But there's always been that DNA in my heart that is like, I must choose this. I want this. How could I choose less for myself? And it's fascinating how rare that is, because but it makes so much sense because it's scary every time.
It's scary to jump. That's the scary part. To go out of your comfort zone, to leap, to follow the heart without the money, without knowing the. I mean, that's what Jesus said. You jump and then the net appears. It's not the opposite.
Right.
You don't just jump when the net appears. That's been that's the beauty of faith, and it is a muscle, and it is what I've been doing for the last 8-9 years.
Yeah.
And it is a muscle that I started very badly, but now I like no, yeah, it's gonna work. It's not that it's not still scary. You don't know where the money's coming from. I mean, now we're actually, since we're together, I have to say our abundance just rocketed, because
I knew together that we're abundant and we're safe. Like at the time when we were leaving Zanzibar, I was the one who had some cash.
yeah, she took care of everything, and I'm like, wow, her heart is so pure.
And she asked, she was like, how did you know you would like get it back or something? I was like, that was not in my mind. I knew that we were abundant together.
I was still in the matrix, like, what is she doing? How does she do that? And then she pay everything with like no expectations. I'm not used to that.
And that's funny too, because my star flame
She
also
opened my
was
heart
not
like that.
in mission. So, I was also like just learning also for him that money flows where the divine is present.
Yeah. And what we also saw with him was when he was not taking responsibility about the money, he lost the money, right? So the lessons were when you open your heart and that's something I told her, and I'm thankful. Because that allowed me to open my heart. I mean, I had to open my heart many years ago when the angels were like testing me. So if I had my last 20 euros, they were like, let's see if she'll buy some food for this other one. They were always testing me. But that part of opening the heart is a test that comes again and again and again.
Yes, I want to say two things about you in a beautiful way. One thing with you just saying the angels testing you. I love how she got this message from Jesus. Jesus told you at one point, if you want money, give money.
Yeah.
If you want to receive, give.
Yeah, do what you want to do unto others, what you want to be
that
have done unto you, and it works. It really works. But it's a hard one to jump.
It's such a muscle. I mean, I've been jumping. I mean, since when I had my first overall healing session with her, and the reason why I made the point in your story about the waters, which we still need to go back to, is because she's a part of the divine justice. So when she's like, Jesus, like, you can go in the Garden of Eden and you can't, I'm like, okay, I just want to emphasize that everyone has the choice, and that's why her sessions are there for everybody that chooses it. It's healing that works with the inner child and the heart purification and the twin flame.
And you become just aware of where your darkness is and what your mission is. It just makes a lot of order also. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and the twin flame is not, and the twin flame's not just about like the marriage, it's about the inner unification within.
And healing the soul. That's
the marriage within, at the soul level.
Yeah, and it just, the twin flame coming through me, I see the healing, and then it expresses itself in the life after.
Yes, absolutely. And also...
And it becomes magical.
Yes, okay, so there's so many things I want to stay connected to this, so I'm going to back it up again. Okay. When we got to Lesotho to finish the water conversation, I had a dream about the waters coming up in Lesotho the first night that completely matched what she saw. Yeah. And I hadn't thought about Dar and the mainland, although I did have this inkling from a certain future map that's out there that the coast would go in.
And I also had a dream with you, or a few days later, huge waves. So that's something we see, and that works well with the other visions and missions that we received about Noah's Ark.
Yes.
To create Noah's Ark, and that the Eden is in Tanzania, and that there is a pyramid above Tanzania, and above at the Eden is the Kilimanjaro, and that's also where we're gonna start the Council of Atlantis.
The new Earth.
I'm seeding.
Yeah. I mean, because Atlantis is a name for unrecorded history, lands of unrecorded history that have been flooded before. Because Lemuria was the time of the divine feminine, Atlantis was a time where the masculine was able to take the lead, but with masculine, there was distortion and corruption.
And you said they tried 7 times?
So what I'm getting is that this is the 7th attempt. It's kind of like Genesis creation, 7 days. This time, with all of kind of cosmic law and timing and whatever out there, it is finished. Like, we've always been destined to succeed this time.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why my soul is always like calling it Atlantis is like, because we've like failed so many times. But this is the time when we would be tested, because when technology gets to the point of AI, is a time where you've got to choose love or fear. And if you choose fear and control, that's when the floods happen. And that is a part of this time, the floods, because it's a part of the purification process, because Mama Earth also has to purify. We are part of her. So that inner purification we're talking about goes the same for the planet.
Yeah.
So
the micro and the macro.
Yes, but it's not about, being wiped out. This is about conscious evolution and choosing unity consciousness.
Yeah, and choosing to take responsibility for our darkness and looking at it in the micro, in our own self, in order to look at it also in a worldly self. Because I feel that if we won't look at it in ourselves, we will be blinded to it in the world, or we won't want to look at it because it's not nice, and then it will continue. But there's no chance it can continue now, because we're going into the 5th dimension.
Yes.
All that will be.
Yes.
The 5th dimension is all about love and unity and beauty.
And that's why Mother Earth has decided. It is her time now. She has decided she's no longer going to be in the 3rd dimension. So that's why she has to go through the purification process, because she is rising. And that's why the systems that have been built on her that are not in alignment with that are going to be falling. Now, the fact, let's not say that word, but like something like the jab, this illusion that it protects us, it will also be revealed, that it's harmful. But the thing is that the souls that do still want to play with darkness in the same way that's been allowed on this planet up until now, even if it's just the inner work, there is a place in the universe for those souls to continue learning and growing.
And that's probably why so many people are leaving with the jab, because they want to continue with karma and duality.
Yeah, and so we have to learn to let go and let God and trust,
Yeah.
And that,
we don't die. We never die, so we just move somewhere else.
Yeah, and I had to work on that too with Chibu. So I wanted to go with my ex, with my star flame, because when I had that dream, I know it was a part of warning him, because as he's an elephant, the way she mentioned how the 3 of us have this like light mission as elephants, as an aspect of our soul anchoring in light. He needed to be in Arusha, and which is near Mount Kilimanjaro, and where he's from, and now he is there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
So it also shows how when you let go, you let God, then things can happen better than what we could imagine.
Exactly.
Getting a little bit tired of holding the camera.
Yes. So
we'll be back.
I just want to fast forward one point before we close, which is that when we knew we needed to come back to the waters, because the waters sent us off, as a part of preparing the new Earth Eden, there's also going to be safety for people to come in. And that includes some of the soul family that we've connected with here since we've gotten here. It's been very, very clear. And these 2 friends that guided us to this lodge, there's an aspect where we're connected at a soul level from past lifetimes as well. And like as she mentioned, there was some karma that needed to be cleared, and we're all arrows for each other in the direction we're going. And sometimes, with men to say like, thank you for recognizing the divine feminine, and we are arrows also on your path. And not only are we working as a team, but perhaps, where you feel we might be an arrow to be the one for you, or something, it's actually like you can tap in, because you are in this level of mission. You are able to choose from your heart. You can tap in and do the inner healing and clear these energetic boundaries that you have over your heart to receive also your twin flame. So we had to like as we don't know where we are right now. We went through this amazing full moon, like Boda motorcycle safari to get here. Like the elephants and zebras used to live here, in these lands. Now they're in the national park, so it's just an amazing, beautiful thing.
Somebody came in. We'll see you soon.
To be continued.
To be continued. Love you. Bye.